Welcome to this episode of Journals and Sense. I'm Linda McGowan, and this podcast is all about helping small businesses one problem at a time. Hello, I'm Linda McGowan. If you're thinking of starting a small business, then listen to this episode of Journals and Sense as I discuss the first 4 steps that you need to consider before starting your business. Hi, I'm Linda McGowan, and if you're thinking of starting a small business, these are my top 4 considerations for you. Firstly, why? Why are you going to business? Are you prepared for the time, the resources, the impact it's going to have on your life? Are you prepared to learn some new skills and maybe be taken completely out of your comfort zone? Are you going into this full throttle? Or are you going to dabble in it for a little while and just build it up slowly? So ask yourself why, what are you hoping to achieve, and do you have the resources that you might need to get it going? The next important issue for me is branding. It doesn't matter if you haven't chosen your structure, it doesn't matter if you haven't thought about how you're going to sell your product just yet. But if you have a product that you want to sell or a service that you want to deliver, what's the name of your business going to be? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the name of the business and also a tagline or slogan that will go with that to help establish what your branding is? For example, Journals and Sense, helping small businesses one problem at a time. So Journals and Sense is a business name, and helping small businesses one problem at a time is our tagline or slogan to help you understand what it is that we're trying to deliver here. So what's yours? What's your branding going to be? Now, keep in mind that the branding of a business often changes. In all the businesses I've been, except one, branding has changed every 4 or 5 years. As the colours change, the logo changes as we refreshen up and move into a new space. Every time I change a dress, I change my branding and my logo. So it doesn't have to be the one that you stay with for 30 years. It's just the one to get you going, given that most businesses will change their branding and their tagline at least once in their early days. This is just to get you going. Once you have thought of your business name and you have thought of your slogan, can you register those? Are they available on the public register, or has somebody already taken it? And if you can register the business name because it's available, can you also get a matching URL? Because it's be really great to have your business name, your URL, and your email addresses all with the same phrase, the same brand. It's very difficult when you spend a lot of time marketing a brand only to have to use a very generic Gmail or Aussie Mail or Yahoo email because you can't get the URL to match. You're effectively marketing somebody else's business if you do that. So think of your branding, think of it, your name, your slogan, and what it is that if you can register it, what does it look like? Just to keep it in your head when you're thinking about your business, as you will probably do a lot. Think of it as a person. Think of it as the person that you're developing, that you're creating, developing and fleshing out over the next few months. Because this image to you is going to be all around you in your emails, your website, all your branding going forward. So spend a little bit of time thinking about the brand, the logo, the slogan or the tagline, just to help you focus on what it is that you're actually doing. The next thing I think is really important is creating a business plan. Not a 40-page document that will never be seen again, that you will spend 6 months developing, never ever to actually look at it again. A business plan at this stage is really, a couple of pages long, and it really just has to address what are you selling, who are you selling it to, who's your target market, how are you going to sell it, and the way you're going to deliver that product. So in these early days, if you're starting up your business, you know your product that you want to sell, but Who is your target market? Who are you selling to? Do you need to, are you selling a retail product that has a specific age, demographic? Are you selling a service? Are you selling candles? Something that everyone that you know that you want to sell this product to, so that you market in the right way. And that also affects down the track when you're a little bit more mature, a little bit advanced in your marketing, what social media you go to, because it'll depend on that as well. So who are you selling to, and who is your target market? And how are you going to sell? Do you need to go into a retail outlet? Can you do a pop-up store if you do? Can you sell at markets and develop a sort of a following, or test the products at a market sense? Can you sell online, or can you go direct marketing? I didn't realise until very recently how many small businesses there were in the direct selling space, where you sell at people's homes or workplaces, where you form parties and your business is taking it to your network and building a network. So there's lots of different ways of you actually delivering your product, and which way is going to be right for you. If you're thinking about selling a service, and it's a big issue, I know, for a lot of contractors and engineers, people who currently work through another organisation. It's hard when you see how much money you may be getting charged out at, and you think, well, I could take that. I'm doing the work. I've got a great relationship with the company I work for. But remember, the company that you get the contract through has developed a brand, has developed contacts and links with these organisations, and have delivered a consistent product over time, which is why they can charge you out at a premium. So if you were to think that you could easily charge that money yourself and work with those contractors in the same way, think again. You might find it very difficult to leave that organisational framework, go out on your own. You might find that the contracts, the people that you did work for, dry up really quickly, because those organisations know that they're just dealing with one person, and if something happened to you, you got ill or you were injured and you couldn't work, they had to find a new contractor. So be very careful if you're currently working as a contractor and you think you can do that very easily yourself. Really consider, how are you going to get those customers, and why would they leave the group that they're currently employing to find you just to use you? So you've written out your business plan, you've got an idea on who, what, where and why, and now you're looking at your cash flow budget. With your budget, it's more about, you don't know what you're going to sell, but it's more about, what is it going to cost you to go into business at this stage? Those things you can work out. So in the expenses side of your cash flow budget, you don't know the income yet, but you do know how much you're going to have to pay in internet, or how much your phone, or any subscriptions that you have to go to, or the cost of you actually buying your product and making it. What are those costs? Do you need to have X rolls of material or X number of something that you can use as raw materials to put your product together in order to have a sufficient stock to take to market? So once you've worked out what your costs are, that gives you an idea of what you need to sell to start recouping those costs. It also helps you work out, at what point do you need help financially, or can you give up your job or go part-time in your job because the business is beginning to make money and you have enough resources to fund those outgoings until you can get the sales up. So going into business is quite difficult, and it's juggling time, your resources, and the capacity for you to actually manage all the other things in your life, as well as introduce this small business. For some people, they can do it after hours, on the weekends, and they've got the support that they need in order to do that. For others, you may have more time during the day, and this is a great way of filling in some time. But whatever you do, have a plan, have a budget, have an idea on what it needs for you to set up your business. Do you need to invest in some technology? If you're going to sell online, do you need to look at some courses or watch a whole lot of information on Google and YouTube on how to get your website created or set up, or how to sell online, so that you can get a bit of a head start. The research that you do is what I referred to initially about, are you ready to learn some new skills, and do you have what it takes to be out of your comfort zone? So the plan is really about you focusing on what it is that you need to do in these very, very early stages of your business to give it some legs, to have it set up properly, to have a brand that you can sell and add to an email address, and start developing your marketing in small ways as you can afford it, or as the ideas come to you and as the opportunities exist for you to sell your product or your service. So the first 4 things to me are definitely, why are you going into business, looking at your branding, developing a business plan, and then developing a cash flow budget, just so that for those 4 steps, you've got some clarity on what you're doing in these very, very early days. Don't worry about structure just yet. That can be sorted. Don't worry about, the legal side and having a business structure or a business plan that's so long that you'll never look at it again. No, it's just, these are the very early days that you should be able to just put some clarity behind, why are you doing this, and what's it going to cost and need in resources for you to get started in your journey. So good luck, and we'll see you in the next stages of when we start helping you grow your business. Well, that's it for this episode of Journals and Cents. I'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. For more information and updates, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.